Hi, in this video we want to talk about the area of triangles. Now, whenever we're given a right angle triangle, calculating the area is very straightforward because the area of a triangle will always be the half base times the perpendicular height. I know it is not stressed enough that we're supposed to multiply the base with the perpendicular height. It's usually a half base times height, but this is assuming that you're working with a right angle triangle or that you have the perpendicular height of that triangle. So this formula is only applicable in one, you're working with a right angle triangle, or two, you have the height, the perpendicular height to one side of your triangle. So what this means is basically you could have something like a triangle like this, where you can choose and you're given something like this height here. So this is our height, and you choose this to be your base, and then we don't really care about everything else. But then the area of this is going to be half base times height. It's not going to be half base times, maybe this is C and this is A, half base times C or A or C times A, but it'll be this height over here. So just make sure that whichever base you choose, you could choose also this base A to be your base, given that you have the perpendicular height to that base. So here would be our perpendicular height at a point like that. So this would be our perpendicular height over here. So just make sure whichever side you choose that you have the corresponding perpendicular height coming out of that side. So you have the, maybe let me write that out, perpendicular height. But what happens if you're not given the perpendicular height? Then we come to this example. Remember the naming convention for a triangle, the opposite side to the corners, we give the small letter like that. Then at this point you should be familiar with this half BC sine A. This formula gives you the area of any triangle. You could also use this formula with this triangle and it will check out perfectly. Or you could just use this formula. They are one and the same, except this one is just a step before we arrive at this formula here. So this formula works by if you know the angle of one of the angles in your triangle, and you know at least two sides, or not just any two sides, but the two sides that form that angle. In this case, it would be side C and side B. They're the ones forming angle A. Therefore, you need to know B and C in order for you to find the area of this triangle. Then lastly, we can talk about the perimeter. So I know it might have been a while since you've done the perimeter, but perimeter is just the distance around an object. So in this case, the perimeter would be equal to A plus B plus C. And then that's it.